Hi everyone, this is Long Vo. Today I'm analyzing one of my online games. It's August the 3rd, 2012. I'm currently playing white and my first move is e4. My opponent plays d6. So since he's not really challenging the center, I decide to go d4. Then he goes knight to f6, attacking my e-pawn. And I defend with knight to c3. Then he goes g6. I guess trying to fianchetto and then castling kingside. So I put more pressure in the center with f4, and he goes bishop to g7, and now I go knight to f3. So he goes bishop to g4, pinning the knight to the queen. So I go h3, challenging the bishop right away. So he decides not to exchange, so he goes bishop to d7, retreating. So I'm happy with that move because now I gain a temple. So I go e5, attacking the knight. And he goes knight to h5. So I attack the knight some more with g4. I think that may have been a mistake. I'm overextending myself here on the king side. So he goes knight to g3, attacking the rook. So here I had a choice between rook to g1 or rook to h2, and I chose rook to h2 because I knew that after he takes the bishop I would take with the king, right? So if I had my rook on h2 here, maybe later on I could do something here with using both rooks on the g and the h file. But if I went rook on the g file, then the h file here becomes useless, right? So my plan was to eventually open up the h file, attacking the king side. So he goes knight takes f1, king takes f1. So he castles king side, and I go g5 to I think it's good when you have a pawn on the 5th rank here, because if he tries to move his pawns here, you can always en passant, right? And I'm gaining more space as well. So he goes d takes e, and d takes e. So now here the center has, the d file has been opened. And my king here is not very safe, so you know, I obviously overextended myself. So he goes bishop to f5, attacking the c2 pawn there. And at this point I didn't feel like exchanging the queens because he would simply take control of the d file. So I went knight to h4, attacking the bishop. So he has a bishop pair here that I'm trying to exchange. So he goes queen takes d1 check, knight takes d1. So now my c pawn is hanging. So rook to d8, attacking the knight. So knight to e3, attacking the bishop and defending the c pawn. So he defends the bishop with e6, knight e takes f5, and e takes f5. So now bishop to e3 to make room for my other rook. Knight to c6, so he's doing the same, completing his development. King to f2, with the idea of probably moving my rook here on the g file. Knight to b4, attacking the c pawn. King to g3, defending the g pawn with the rook there. And he goes h6. So of course I take because I wanted to open that the g file for the rook eventually. So g takes h, bishop takes h6. So now knight to f3. With the idea of yeah, I'm not sure why I did that, but I guess I didn't want him to attack the knight, and the knight wasn't really useful there. So anyways, I centralized the knight, and perhaps with the idea of advancing the pawns here to open up the h file. b6. So I'm not sure why he went there as well. Maybe he wanted to block the a pawn here so he could eventually develop the rook. Right, so he didn't take my c pawn, so c3 attacking the knight. So knight to d5, attacking my bishop. Bishop to d2. So the point of that is to close the d file temporarily. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna play my rook here, but anyways, the bishop is also defended by the knight here, so it's a safer square, and I didn't want to block off the first rank. Rook to d7 with the idea of probably doubling the rooks. So rook to g1, rook to d8, and knight to d4, closing the d file there. So c5 attacking the knight. Knight to c6 attacking the rook. Rook to a8. Now, yeah, so I don't think that's very a good move, because the a pawn is already defended by the other rook. So I think he could have gone to c8, then my knight would have been trapped. Anyways, he made a mistake, and so I go e6. So at that point I did realize my knight had nowhere to go to, so it was fine to sacrifice that pawn so I could escape the knight. So f takes e, and knight to e5, attacking the rook and the g pawn. Rook to d6. Knight takes g6. King to g7, attacking my knight. So king to f3, opening up the g file. So the idea is to eventually move the knight for a discovered attack, but at this point there's nothing to really attack. I could go here, but then the knight is already defended by the pawn there. So rook to d8, doubling the rook again. C4, attacking the knight, and the idea here is to open up the diagonal for the bishop. Knight to b4, attacking the pawn, the a pawn. So bishop to c3 check. King to f7. Knight to e5 check. King to e7. So now here the g file is completely open, but of course the bishop is defending the g7 square there. So I go rook to g2. Not sure why I went there. Anyways, that's what I did. He went to knight takes a2. Yeah, I had no idea why I went rook to g2 there, but anyways, now it's rook to g6. Bishop takes f4. King takes f4. Knight takes c3. B takes c3. So now I'm up a knight, so I don't know why he took the f4 there, but anyways. So rook to d1. Rook to g7 check. Oh yes, over here, yeah. Actually, right here, I could have checked him right away for the fork, which I missed. But anyways, I went rook to g7 check. He goes king to d6. Now I get a second chance. So knight to f7 check, forking the rook. King to c6. Knight takes d8 check. Rook takes d8. Rook takes a7. Rook to d1. So I guess here he's probably thinking of delivering some checks or going behind the pawns to take them. So I start pushing my pawn, h4, rook to f1 check, king to e5, rook to e1 check, king to f6. So now I'm shielded by his own pawn. So he starts pushing with f4, h5, f3, h6, rook to e2, offering an exchange. So I decline with the rook to h1. Then he goes f2, h7. So rook to e1. So now at this point, I'm in time trouble, so I only have, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds left. So in the game, I actually took here, and then when he queens, then I queen, but then he takes queen takes c3 check, and then it's pretty much over. But I lost anyways with time. But what I should have played was, so when he offered the exchange, I should have taken the queen here, because then the queen defends the rook. If he takes, then I take, then I'm leading with a check in the initiative. But if he queens, then I take the queen, and then he takes the rook and with a check. And then I'm still up a queen, so it doesn't matter, I lost anyways, but you know, the game could have gone something like this, and then queen to e8 check, king to d6, then there's nothing he could really do, and eventually it would have been checkmate. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something.